and welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider. You have found PRI here at Cello's in Metairie. I'm the head coach for PRI, Rick Gailey, along with our Prep Recruiting Insider, the one, the only, Renee Nato. And we are so happy to be joined today by the head coach of the St. James Wildcats, Coach Robert Valdez. Coach Valdez, thank you for being here with us today.
Oh, man, thank you. It's my pleasure.
So glad to have you. You look like you could still play. You know, but I want to go back a little bit.
You got one play left. You only have one play left. That's it.
Going back, being Dominican, your family was baseball.
Yes.
So you had to sneak out of the house to go play football. How
Yes.
tough was that?
My mom didn't know I played football. My mom didn't know I played football in middle school, and I had to tell my dad. It was a secret between my dad and myself because my sister wasn't at the school yet. She was 2 years behind me, so we had to sneak out. And so my mom was like, "Why are you always tired?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just running around, you know." So she finally, I think when I was in the middle of the 8th grade year at Carr, when Carr was just a junior high school, that's when we had to tell her because I think I had like a twisted ankle or something, and she had to find out. But they didn't know at first that I was playing football. And, I couldn't make the weight at the park at the playground, so I had to wait to go to junior high. But my baseball career wasn't too good because I couldn't hit a curveball, so it was easier to hit a man than it would to hit a curveball.
That has been the undoing of many a baseball player, the ability to hit a curveball. Your first year at St. James after stops, the last 2 stops anyway, at Scotlandville and at West St. John. Talk about the differences between the 3 jobs at West St. John, Scotlandville, and at St. James.
Well, I mean, West St. John, it's, you know, Coach DuPont. I inherited a program from Coach DuPont. They had a lot of tradition and a lot of great, you know, student athletes and a lot of pride. And those guys, I mean, they played, you know, our rosters were 30 to 40 kids, you know, most of the time. And, you know, we lined up against some 5A schools and played a lot of big teams. And, you know, it was a real big adjustment, especially in preparation. I think that all coaches eventually should have to coach smaller teams because it makes you a better coach. It helps you with practice, planning, and all that there. And eventually, after 8 years, you know, you kind of ask yourself, what's next? You try to find out what was the next possible challenge. And I had good friends, a lot of ties with my Southern University ties in Baton Rouge, in the North Baton Rouge area. When that job after Eric Randall left to go in administration, he called, and at first I said no. And then, you know, through some swing and talking and all that, and you know, Scotlandville it was a challenge that I want to see if, you know, I can do this at that level in 5A, and very fortunate to inherit a tremendous amount of talent, a strong senior class, and you know, we went 10-2, and then things along the river started, you know, shaking a little bit, and you know, Mama started looking at you like, you know, we could stay at Scotlandville, but it sure be nice to have you closer home, you know, at St. James, and just excited and fortunate and very thankful. I think, like I said, Coach, you know, the foundation that you set from your time there, and the tradition, honor, discipline, and excellence, and all that, it was very attractive. And it was a situation like both of my girls go to school with me. One is in the 7th grade, one is a senior. It's home, you know. It's an opportunity, you know. It's like a situation we did 5A, we enjoyed it. I have nothing but respect and admiration for Scotlandville High School, but St. James just really gives you the best of both worlds with family, with the community second to none. I mean, the support that and the love affair that they have for football and that community is unbelievable. So I'm riding a magical corporate ride right now.
3.5 years as a starter at center for the Southern Jaguars, and including a pair of National Black Champions.
Yes.
And a guy who influenced you greatly, a guy, attention to detail and preparation,
yes.
Pete Richardson.
Yes.
How much has his influence helped you as a coach?
Man, you got to look at it. There's a lot of guys that played at Southern University under Pete Richardson that become high school head football coaches and that are coaching right now. And one of the biggest things that Pete Richardson did, it was a no-nonsense attention to details. It was everybody has to put the team first and your personal agendas later. And so when we went out there, it was organized. It was a routine, and you had to master the routine. And it wasn't like, you know, you just had to adverse situations just so you can handle the game. So he would build in situations to make you have to endure some things. And some days we're going to have this, and some days we're going to move the water over here, and then so you have to change the situation to get kids to be able to do it, and then the consistency about it. The consistency. You knew that if you didn't do what you're supposed to, you weren't going to get on that travel roster. And you knew that even if you were a starter, you had to do your part. You had to do your job. Because he would tell the guys, if you don't practice by Wednesday, you're not playing. If you and this is college. I mean, there were some guys who thought they could ride the training room. You know what I'm saying? But I just very grateful for him and just tutelage and everything that he instilled in not only me but a lot of coaches, a lot of guys that follow that formula.
And Coach Richardson, I can testify for a fact, elevated the entire conference.
Yes.
Because the conference really, when Coach Richardson took over, it gotten a bit stale.
Right.
There was a lot of just inner hiring of people hiring the same people.
Funny story
and
about
Coach
that.
Richardson came in and turned that all upside down.
Yes, he did. And it's funny because Sean Wallace was one of the best football players come through Southern University. And I'll never forget as a freshman, everything was big for me. I used to have the big eyes, and I was nosy. I was listening to everything and everybody. And we were playing Alabama State when Houston Markham was at Alabama State, and they were loaded. And Sean Wallace goes up to people and said, "Are you ready for the SWAC?" And he said in the coolest, calmest way, he said, "Is the SWAC ready for me?" and he, just like what Coach is saying, and he really transformed the whole conference and elevated everybody's program.
In the last minute or so, Coach, recruiting is so important, and you get some players that are being recruited. How closely do you monitor it and dig back to your days as a player and watch what's going on now?
And I think everybody has their own. What we do is I try to give them as much information to my kids as possible, but I want the families to make that decision. Because, I don't want a kid to say, "Coach, I went to this school because you made me go there." So ultimately, I think that as head coaches, our job's to inform the parents as much as possible and put all the information in front of on the table for them and allow the family and the children to make that decision, because they're the ones that are going to have to go back and forth transporting that kid and going to see the games and whatever is important for them. So our job is to promote them, is to put them on center stage and make sure that academically and with the clearinghouse and that they have all the things that we can control in place, and then their talent level, their character and their academics is going to dictate the rest, and then the parents ultimately make the decision.
And real quick, big challenge this week, the De La Salle Cavaliers, who are undefeated in the Big Three round robin. That is your district.
And that's something.
Give us, it's something else. And it's at home. Give us a quick synopsis.
Well, I think that the good thing about it is for us the last 2 weeks, with Lutcher last week and De La Salle this week, it really gives us a synopsis of what playoff atmosphere is going to be like. And I think that you need to have that. You need to have that. You have to go through that. And we're excited. We're excited. We played the number 2 ranked team last week. We played the number 1 ranked team. And you don't want it. If you're a competitor, this is what you want. This is what you want, because this is what's going to measure. And I told our kids last week that the mistake that they made was that they showed me they could play fast. And they did that. They played fast with a lot of confidence, and they left it on the line. So it's going to take the same type of effort. I mean, De La Salle, they're doing a great job. I mean, they're big, they're fast, and they're well coached. But I just want to see if they can come down the river, and handle the mosquitoes and the fried chicken and jambalaya and everything, Coach, that we have to offer down there. That's the 12th man, you know what I'm saying?
You got it. That's what St. James football is all about. Coach mentioned it. Tradition, honor, discipline, and excellence. Thank you, Coach, for being here with us today. That's Coach Robert Valdez of the St. James Wildcats. When we come back on Prep Recruiting Insider, we'll have 2 great Wildcat players as they prepare for the De La Salle Cavaliers. We're here at Cello's. We'll be back after this.